y'all, my name is Noah Cook. I graduated Science Hill in 2022. Right now I'm a rising sophomore at the University of Tennessee studying economics with a minor in Spanish and a collateral in international business. I'm standing on Peyton Manning Pass with Neyland Stadium behind me, and I'd like to make a special thank you to all the teachers at Science Hill while I was there. During my freshman year, I was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer called T-cell lymphoblastic. During my time at Science Hill, I had many people who helped me not only deal with my treatment and school at the same time, but also motivated me to not give up and keep going. So I'd like to say a special thank you to Coach Benny Tolley, Mr. Robert Tester, and Miss Connor. I hope y'all are doing great, and I love you all.
Brent Sluter is the best teacher I've ever had, and I really was inspired. He was the first person to ever encourage me not to go to college, which sounds funny, but I couldn't be where I am today if I didn't listen to his advice. He really believed in me and thought that I could do whatever I set my mind to, and I am debt-free and I own a business at 23 years old. So,
Coach Price, what he does know is that in his class we had to write an I Believe poem, and so the poem was structured for us to just kind of talk about the things that we believed in, we had faith in, we trusted to be real, and I now have a folder on my computer of belief poems. I write them all the time. I wrote one to Wofford, one to Johnson City. I've written them to literature, sports, music. I write them all the time. A very unique thing that has stayed with me that Coach Price has no idea about. The next person I wanted to say was Miss Stiltner. Miss Stiltner was a unique mentor for me because I didn't actually take one of her classes as an English student, but she was my SGA mentor, so she provided me with leadership roles, and then also I took yearbook, which I absolutely loved.
What got me thinking is it's not really the classroom work that made me feel special with these teachers, or that was actually inspiring. First, I want to say thank you to Paul Overbay for some of the life lessons he taught me. He probably won't even remember this, or he might remember it, but always we would show up in class, he will mention, he would pretty much give us a lesson of, hey, listen, in this classroom you're sitting next to the doctors, you're sitting next to the nurse, you're sitting next to the carpentry, you're sitting next to the robbers, you're sitting next to the thieves, you're sitting next to the candle maker, and it was just the same to let you know, always be aware who you're surrounding yourself with, always be aware that these are everyone that exists in society, and kind of help you decide which one of those are you going to be.
Teacher that inspired me the most my time at Science Hill was Mr. Brent Sluter. He is the absolute man. He taught me everything I know in welding. That's why after school, after Science Hill, I went to TCAT, got my degree in welding, pursued that. Now I'm in the nuclear business. Thank you.
I would like to shout out Coach Van Thornout, Coach Edwards, Coach Eads, and Coach Wallen for always being there for me and preparing me for life outside of high school. You all made my high school experience memorable, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. I hope everyone's doing well, and go Toppers.
This past school year, I worked as a junior English teacher at Cherokee High School, and boy was that a challenge at first. I thought back to when I was in high school and all the things that my teachers had implemented in their classrooms that I loved. Like Mr. King and his grand entrance into the classroom, Coach Hazel understanding that I quite literally would always be 5 minutes late to first period, Miss Bennett always being a listening ear and letting me and my friends spend flex time in her room, and Miss Keller for making Anatomy and Physiology a class that I actually looked forward to, just because of how fun she was and how fun she made class. I graduated with my master's in May and finished off the school year with my juniors and seniors at Cherokee. Not only did I make some of my best friends to this day at Science Hill, but I was also taught by some incredible teachers who continue to inspire me today. Each of these teachers inspired us, challenged us, and motivated us by building relationships and bettering us as a person and a student. I hope to have a similar impact on my students as I begin my second year of teaching, but this school year I'll be at Libertyville Middle School teaching 7th grade ELA. See you all around campus soon. Go Toppers and go Patriots.
Sweet Mrs. Bennett, who is also my cheer coach, and also the wonderful Dr. Whitmore. Both of these women always treated my classmates and I with such kindness and respect, like real-life adults, and I could not be more grateful for them during my time at Science Hill. But I hope everyone there has a wonderful school year. Go Toppers, and be good.
Some teachers that inspired me during my time at Science Hill were Coach Murray and Mr. Tester and Mr. Sluter. They really had a lot of passion for what they were teaching and really cared about their students.
I'd like to thank Ms. Smith, who really just sparked that love of biology for me. Actually led to me studying here at the university. And my coaches, Coach Miller and Coach Price, who really just installed that attitude that failure is an opportunity to improve and grow. And Miss Connor, who's just a really nice teacher, was always supportive of my brother and I, especially when he was going through some health troubles, and very accommodating. And yeah.
I can't thank enough the overall and the impact that I can almost guarantee had my time at Science Hill had on my educational experiences and both my career experiences since graduating. I'd like to in particular thank Floyd and Deidre Brown, the math classes we had, Coach Price in AP English, Elizabeth Bennett in my time with you in chemistry, Rachel Briette, Mitzi Ann Stilner, Angela Taylor in our time together in the Student Government Association, all the football coaching staff.
Mr. Brown taught me that math was indeed not my thing, but he pushed me to perform the best in his class, and to this day goes out of his way to say hello to me if I see him out and about. He also was my only B in my entire college career, which is okay, I'm not going to hold it against him, but he was my only B, but I still love him. Miss Taylor was my mentor for the Certified Nursing Assistant class that I took my senior year, and because of her, I am a CNA at Nice Children's Hospital still to this day. That role opened many doors for me in the medical field, and I will forever be grateful for her and that opportunity. And lastly, Coach Bennett. Coach Bennett taught me to never give up, and she taught me the meaning of leadership through high school cheerleading. I still implement those attributes in my everyday life. Overall, Science Hill opened many doors for me, and I'm proud to be an alum. Go Toppers.
I'm now currently studying at Bill Gatton College of Pharmacy to earn my doctorate in pharmacy in 2025. I truly believe my high school experience is what led me down this career path. My first 2 years of my bachelor's, I was actually a chemistry major, and this interest in chemistry started with my Chemistry 1 class that I took with Dr. Wood, and then I moved into Chemistry 2 with the intentions of taking AP Chemistry, and I took that with Miss Bennett. And going into Chemistry 2, it was a lot more experiments, a lot more hands-on learning, and that's how I learned best, is by doing. So these experiments, the titrations we did with Miss Bennett's gender reveal, it just really amazed me how you can alter these experiments, and you know, those are things that I still remember 6 years down the road. And I also, my senior year, took clinicals with Miss McPherson. Going into clinicals, I never thought that pharmacy is what I wanted to do, but I was one of the last picks that got to choose their rotation, and I ended up with pharmacy, and I ended up loving it. I signed up for the pharmacy technician course with Miss Mold, and I ended up loving that as well. I graduated high school, and the summer before I started college, I had a job at Boones Creek Pharmacy, thanks to Miss Mold, who recommended me for the position. And I do think that the decision that I made and the career path that I chose is influenced by my experiences in high school. Thanks to my teachers and their motivation and their belief in me, I don't think that I would be where I am today without that.
When I went to Science Hill, there wasn't really a teacher that I didn't like or that didn't inspire me. For example, my science teachers, Miss Bennett, Mr. Morell, and Miss Mazoff, all encouraged me to continue to pursue science, which is one of the main reasons why I'm studying biology, and also some chemistry classes at Alabama. And my math teachers, Mr. Winterjim and Mr. Berry, helped me get through all my tough math classes, especially AP Calculus, which was definitely not easy. And I've never been a big history fan, but Mr. Vanoy encouraged me and helped me get through my US history class, which I didn't really like, but he made it a lot more enjoyable, and he was a really fun teacher. And I loved all of my CTE teachers like Miss Taylor and Miss Lester, and they really encouraged me and inspired me to wanting to go into the medical field. And then as well as my English teachers, I've also never been a very big English fan, but Dr. Sutton and Dr. Whitmore helped me get through those tough English classes like AP Seminar and AP Research, and I ended up doing very well in all my classes. So honestly, all the teachers at Science Hill I love so much.
There are far too many to count, but I'll start with Miss Wilson. She made the biggest impact on me my first period of my first year of high school. So the person who probably heard from me the most as I was navigating being a freshman. And then I also spent a lot of time with Miss Stiltner through yearbook and Tracy and Nicole in the office. What about you?
Mine probably was Mr. Morrell. I loved chemistry class because he made everything so fun.
Yeah, we were trying to boil down adjectives to describe every teacher that we had. It's really, really hard given all the words in the world, but we said the kindness and the intentionality that everyone showed us, and also just the love. Science Hill will forever and always hold a special place in our heart. And go Toppers! Woo!
The faculty at Science Hill are far and above what you would find at a normal high school. But if I had to pick one person, it would be Coach Price, who taught AP English my senior year. Coach Price really made a safe space for all of his students. It was easy to talk to Coach Price about really anything that you needed to. But no, Coach Price made a safe space for all of his students, and more than that, he was very encouraging. He did all that he could to push us to be our best selves, and that's really stuck with me through the rest of my life. He's an inspirational teacher. He's one of the reasons that I've decided to teach myself, because he showed me that you can really change a person's life by being an influence to them.
But yeah, just reflecting on my time at Science Hill, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I had a great high school experience those 4 years, just spending time on the baseball field, on the basketball court, in the hallways, in the classroom. Were just some really awesome memories that I really wouldn't trade for anything. And what really made it that way was my friends, my classmates, but also my teachers and my coaches and the administrators at Science Hill. Many of whom I still keep in touch with. Teachers like Ms. Bennett and Coach Hazel, my coaches, Coach Edwards, Coach Conley, Coach V, who have all just been great role models for me, and the counselors who helped me navigate college decisions and life decisions, Ms. English, Ms. Ellis. Just all of those people are just people I hold dear to me and who've been a great influence on my life and have just helped me develop into the person I am today. So I'm forever thankful for that, forever thankful for Science Hill. And so, yeah, I hope y'all have a great school year, and yeah, go Toppers.
While I was at Science Hill, teachers that inspired me include Miss Graves, Miss Darden, Miss Bennett, Mr. Marshall, and Mr. Wonderton. They all pushed me to be my true and genuine self, and they also pushed me to go beyond what I think I can do. I'm literally majoring in chemical engineering right now, which is insane, and I'm almost done. So thank you, Science Hill teachers.
The teachers that inspired me the most were Brent Sluter, Rob Tester, and Rich Murray. These teachers showed me the construction industry and also the welding industry. These teachers also showed just basic life lessons that will stick with me the rest of my life, and I will always cherish those moments I've always had with those, and I really appreciate them so much. Thank you so much.
The teachers who've inspired me the most, for one, Mrs. Bennett, of course. She's just an amazing teacher all around, made chemistry a lot easier than it should have been. She also helped sponsor my Rubik's Cube Club, as well as lead the Science Bowl team, which I still remember very fondly. Also wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Malden, who inspired me to major in math in the first place. Yeah, so thank you so much.
I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the CTE teachers, Mr. Sluter, Coach Murray, and Mr. Tester. They, let me go above and beyond in their classes and pursue different projects that I wanted to do and I was interested in. And it really put me forth on a path that showed me, hey, I like to design, I like to build stuff, I like to work with my hands, and ultimately heavily influenced my decision to go into the construction engineering side of things. I also like to shout out a teacher who's since retired, Dr. Griffith, who taught AP US History, and He was just always made class fun. He was very witty and really made history an enjoyable time, like you look forward to his class. So thank you guys.
After leaving Science Hill, I joined an electrician's apprenticeship program and attended Northeast State at night. On the weekends, I built this house I'm sitting in. I'm now 24. I'm a licensed Tennessee electrician, a commercial foreman, and my house is completely paid off and I have no student debt. All this is thanks to all the skills that I acquired in Mr. Tester's class, along with all the career and technical programs. I enjoyed all my educators at Science Hill, and I'm always proud to be a Hilltopper.